Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today what I thought we could do, I saw a flip pocket that was a triple flip pocket on somebody's channel recently. Now I have to apologise, I have looked through this morning, I cannot find for the life of me whose channel it was. I'm pretty sure that it was a channel that I hadn't kind of watched before. I will try and find it after I've done this video, and I will try and link it below. But if I can't, if I can't find it, then I really do apologise, to the person whose idea it was, because it was just a lovely idea. So I brought along a variety of papers. So obviously, I mean, I've brought along a variety of my digital papers, and then I've also brought along a couple of my 12 by 12 sheets, because I'm really going to be trying not to hoard things this year. As you know, it was kind of my mission to, just actually use things up and not just hang on to things so much. So, yep, that's what I have here. Obviously, I've got glue, so you're going to need some glue, some scissors, and, a selection of papers if you're wanting to do this. I will probably use some ink to, to ink my pockets. And that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, I've got a ton of stuff laying around on my desk that I can decorate them up with. But, for the actual basic pockets, I think that's all you're going to need. You may want to have a bone folder, but if you haven't got a bone folder, of course, you can just use your scissor handle or something like that. So, yeah, let's get making some. So I'm just going to put this all in my lap, and we will get making some. Oh, sorry, I've got these bits of paper now stuck on my desk from what I was doing over the weekend. Right, okay, so this is just a, sheet of A4. Now, this is printed on 200 GSM, so it's kind of thicker than your regular, copy paper. This is from my Savile Row kit, and what I've done, I've just printed it with the coffee-dyed background page that comes with that kit. So all I'm going to do is, I think, cut it, yeah, more or less in half. I'm just thinking it might be a little bit wide if I cut it, straight in half. I mean, not that it's going to be accurate anyway, but I'm just going to go slightly over to one side so it's not quite so, quite so wide. So just cutting that down. And because this is going to be a sort of triple pocket slash flip, it's helpful to have something that's either double-sided or perhaps it's coffee-dyed or something, so the back's not completely plain. So all you're going to do is then just fold your little pockets over. I'm just going to take my bone folder and squish that down. And at this point, obviously, you can then neaten up, if you're like me and you didn't use a paper trimmer and you have then, scrappy edges, you can now, just tidy them up a bit now. I mean, obviously, you might not have that problem. You might have done the sensible thing and used a paper trimmer, but yeah, anyway, it's fine. So that's my little base of my pocket. And then basically what she did was she then put another pocket folding outways on the front of this. So again, I'm going to use the same paper, and I'm just wondering whether actually I might like it reversed. Yeah, I think kind of having it reversed would be quite fun. So all I'm going to do is fold my paper over approximately, where I think it is. Okay, and again, just take my bone folder and squish it down. And then I'm just going to cut this down here. I mean, obviously this is way too tall at the moment to be a pocket on here, but I will trim it up in a second. I'm not going to bin this. Haven't decided on a use for it yet, but I'm not going to bin it, of course. Of course, I'm going to just hold it. So that's our little pocket piece, and that will attach here on the front. So I will probably glue that on and then actually trim it, after I've glued it, I think. Yeah, I think that would be easiest. I mean, I could have had it this way, but I thought the contrast looked quite good with the coffee dyed paper. So yeah, let's just pop that down. And again, you could stitch this on the sewing machine. I'm just going to glue it, which I think is perfectly fine. And you're going to want to have it like that. So obviously I need to do a bit of trimming. That's fine. Whoops. Like that. Okay. And then I'll just open that out, and then again just stick it down with all the glue. Okay. And just wipe off any excess, and then I'm just going to trim this down just across here. Okay, like that. So then what you've got obviously your flip up here, and then you've got your flip out here, which is also a little pocket. So, you know, super cute. I'm just going to trim that slightly more because it's just overhanging slightly at that edge. Okay. Okie dokie. Yep. And then her triple pocket, her third pocket, was the piece that she put in here. So, for instance, this, I mean, actually, just by chance, this happens to just fit perfectly into that pocket. However, I did kind of think, actually, what you could do is have a third pocket, or, you know, I guess a fourth pocket if you're going to, you know, have this as a tuck-in as well. You could have another one on the inside, if you see what I mean. So you'd have one here, and then you'd open it and have another one. So, you know, it's really versatile, and again, lots of different things that you can do and ways that you can use this. And, you know, don't we all just love versatile, you know, things that we can kind of chop and change around? So, you know, I love being able to kind of play and alter it. So, you know, because you could have then some, you know, some with this extra pocket, some without, and, you know, really super cute. So again, just glue that down like that. Just going to push that up slightly so it's a bit higher on the paper. That's it. And then again, I'm just going to trim that down, so I'll just go turn it over, trim it down at the back. Okay, and oops, just down there. Okay, so then what we've got is we've got a pocket there and a pocket there. I mean, actually, I ended up sticking this the wrong way round. I wanted to have, you know, the contrasting paper on the inside, but I actually wanted the pocket opening the other way. But, you know, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things. So, yeah, aren't they just so cute? And, you know, you've got then your pocket here, foldy out. Then you've got journaling space, obviously, inside, another little foldy out, and then another pocket there. So, I mean, you've got a ton of space on here, haven't you? I love them. Really, really love them. Yeah, so that's kind of all there is to them. So I'll make another one talking you through the process, and, you know, then we can kind of just relax and have a nice time. So this is a paper from my Moonlit Moments kit. This one's been coffee dyed and obviously ironed. Again, just deciding which colours, because this has got a bit of blue, but not too much blue. Or do I want it kind of just all the gold type colour? Okay, well, let's just cut it down. So again, just going slightly over so it's not completely, you know, in half, just because to me that feels a little bit on the wide side then. Okay, and again, just going to fold that straight in half like that. Again, just squish it down with my bone folder like that, and I'm just going to trim it down here. Now, I always find it's much better to trim into the fold, if you see what I mean, rather than away from the fold. What happens if you fold away, if you cut away from the fold, what happens is by the time you get down to the bottom, it does this. The paper kind of like somehow goes a bit skew, and you end up with this kind of effect going on your folded piece. So yeah, I always like to cut, you know, into the fold whenever I can. So that's that one. And then what we'll do is just do a couple of pockets. So again, just take that down and fold that over. Oops, gosh, I'm making a horrible job of this. Okay, and again, just squish that down like that. And then just again, cut that down here. So for this one, I might have it this way round, I think. So as we've actually got the blue then showing on, you know, this side of the pocket. So again, just going to put my glue down, you know, and this is obviously where you could take it to your sewing machine and stitch it instead. You know, you would have it open and you would just stitch around like that. But, you know, for the purposes of the mass making and things, you know, the glue works absolutely fine. It, you know, it looks fine. I don't think really I need to worry. I think it's coming out just as nice being glued as sewed or sewn. And again, just then really press it down. I mean, in some ways I find the sewing machine actually is quicker because you don't have all this process of having to really ensure it's glued down. But I mean, of course, you know, the sewing machine is not probably all that fun to watch because it's quite noisy. I don't have a very, you know, big area, so there's not much space. And, you know, I realise that not everybody's got a sewing machine, so I think it's, you know, this is much more accessible for everyone if it's just glued. But yeah, I mean, obviously stitched would look super nice too. So that's that one. And then this time I'm going to try and get it the right way round and have it opening that way so that my pockets are, you know, my flaps are opening the opposite ways, you know, which I think would look really, really cute. So go down here. Okay. And then we just push that one up a bit, otherwise it's a bit of a low down pocket. Okay, and then just squish the glue like that. Okay, and then again we can just trim that down like that. I mean, obviously those pockets are not really kind of stuck on too brilliantly as yet, but so we've got this time the pocket, the flip out opening this way, and obviously the pocket here, and then when you open it, you've then got a pocket opening this way and the pocket there. So they're really cute, aren't they? And you know, although this is a bit, you know, like flopping about, if you see what I mean. Once it's glued into your journal, I mean, I would glue it probably on 3 sides. So then you'd actually have another pocket here behind your piece, plus your 2 pockets obviously going on in your piece, if you see what I mean. And then, you know, what you could do is obviously put a paper clip to hold it, you know, hold it closed. You could have one of those little closures there or something. You know, you've got numerous ideas of how you can actually use it. So they're really cute, aren't they? Really cute and really versatile, I think. So, yeah, I hope that you like them. And as I say, not my idea initially. You know, obviously this is my kind of take on it, add in the extra pocket. Hers was the extra flip was tucked into the pocket, if you see what I mean. But yeah, I think they're really, really cute. So let's do another one. And, you know, this time, obviously, I won't talk you through it again because, you know, they're not too difficult or anything. So we can just relax and have a nice time, have a catch up, and yeah, just do some mass making and have a nice time. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all having a good start to your week. I know I say this every week and it's just probably so boring to listen to, but yeah, I mean, I'm filming this on the Monday, ready to go up for the Tuesday. So I mean, literally my week's just started, you know, just now. But yeah, obviously, you know, I've taken my daughter to school and yeah, it's still quite early on the Monday morning. So, but obviously for you guys, you know, it will be Tuesday. So guess you'll have a sense of how your week's going so far. I hope you're having a good one. It was really nice weather earlier, and now it's just clouding over and going really grey, so I suspect we're going to be in for some rain actually later, which is a shame. Okay, so that's my basic flip there. So thank you so much to everyone who's been watching the beginners series. Obviously, you know, I'd been talking about it for a long time and kind of, you know, promising that it was coming. And yeah, it's finally come. So yeah, I hope that you're all enjoying it. I mean, like I say, it's not strictly for beginners. I mean, hopefully there would be one or two things, you know, be it reminders, or, you know, sometimes there might be things that maybe, I don't know, maybe just would be new or different, or, you know, just something different for seasoned journal makers as well. So yeah, I really hope that you're all enjoying it, and thank you so much to everyone who is watching. I really appreciate that. So, and yeah, I mean, I really just hope that it's, you know, that it's seeming useful to you guys. You know, I had a nice time filming it, and yeah, I just really hope that you all find it really really useful. And I mean, obviously for those people who are starting out and, you know, are sort of beginners, I mean, I really hope that it kind of spurs you on and gives you courage, because I know I said this before, but I mean, I get so many messages, you know, from people saying, oh, I've made loads of ephemera, but I just still haven't you know, ventured into making my first journal yet. And, you know, I really hope that it kind of will give you the courage, or give you the I don't know, well, inspiration or something to actually, you know, to make your first journal. Because I mean, honestly, once you've made one, you will just love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did find my first several journals, to be honest, pretty overwhelming actually. You know, I've said this loads of times, I just felt like, oh my goodness, you know, there's so much, you know, different terminology, different types, different this, different that. And I just felt a little bit overwhelmed by it all. But, and the other thing I did find was, obviously they took such a long time to make, that it kind of came to the point, you know, during making a journal where you'd think, oh my gosh, you know, am I ever going to finish this journal? You know, and I did feel that way for, you know, for quite a few journals on, to be honest, you know. I mean, there's still times now when I do kind of, you know, maybe I'm doing a journal and I think, oh my gosh, is this one ever going to come to an end? You know, but I mean, equally, that's not often, and, you know, I'm still enjoying it, even if I maybe do think that occasionally. But I mean, yeah, really, it's just kind of, just go for it, and, you know, just really just enjoy the process. And, you know, just remember, it's your journal. There aren't really any rules, and don't kind of get hung up on, oh, you know, is that the right thing? Or, you know, am I calling that the right thing? Am I sticking this down the right way? You know, there's no rules really. I mean, junk journals, they're, you know, they're, well, they're a made up thing, aren't they? So, you know, and essentially they are an expression of your creativity. So, you know, don't be kind of put off and thinking, oh, you know, I might do it wrong, or I might make a mistake, or, you know, it might not turn out nice. No rules, absolutely no rules. Do it just whatever takes your fancy. And if you don't like it, just, you know, rip that bit off, or glue something over it, or, you know, just work on it until you're happy with it, really, is my kind of biggest sort of thing that I would take from doing journals. Is, you know, there's no right and wrong, and you know, so long as you're enjoying yourself, that's what it's all about, really. And, you know, obviously if you've then created something that you can, you know, touch and hold and look at and brings you, you know, lovely joy, then, you know, that's fantastic and all the better, you know. But I mean, primarily it's just about sort of expressing yourself in a creative way, isn't it? And yeah, just kind of going for it, you know. Okay, so that's that one. This was my pink Parisian kit. So yeah, sorry, I nearly forgot to say what kits that I was using. Okay, and this is my Victorian Florals, Vintage Victorian Florals background papers. This, I think, is set 3, if I recall. Had it printed out for quite a while, but yeah, I think this is the set 3. So again, just fold that over. Okay. So, I mean, we'll be coming up for the Easter holidays soon already. I mean, it's just crazy. The kids have literally just gone back to school and already they're going to be finishing, obviously, for Easter soon. It's just been the most bizarre time, you know. But, I mean, thank goodness they're back at school. And, you know, my son, unbelievably, actually got up for school this morning. I did not even have to be, you know, calling him or anything. I couldn't believe it. I saw that his, you know, his bedroom door was closed and I could see the light, you know, rather than it being dark around this sort of crack of the door. I thought, wow, he's actually up. And when I knocked and opened the door, wow, he was there in his full school uniform, just putting his shoes on. I couldn't believe it. Because, you know, I've talked about this a lot, but yeah, I mean, normally I have to do a lot of calling and a lot of, generally moaning and things to try and make him, you know, get out of bed. So, yeah, I don't know what came over him this morning, but it was a lovely change to the usual kind of my keeping on calling him, you know. So, yeah. There we go. So I hope everyone had a nice weekend. It was quite a nice weekend here. I mean, yeah, it was strange because we had quite a few lovely days last week, you know, where it felt really quite spring-like and very sunny and actually, you know, really warm. You know, you barely even needed to wear a coat, you know, just a sort of smaller jacket. And then, strangely, I expected Saturday to be kind of similar. It was really chilly. We went to the beach, you know, for a walk and, oh, it was really, really chilly. So, yeah. And then yesterday, what was the weather like? I can't really remember what the weather was like yesterday. I mean, I spent the day just doing some work really and, you know, working in my, you know, on some things for my shop. I haven't really finished yet, but, yeah. So I didn't really kind of go out that much until a bit later in the day. And, yeah, it was okay. The boys were doing their own thing. So, yeah, it was fine. There we go. I FaceTimed with my friend yesterday. You know, like one of my oldest and, you know, closest friends. And hadn't spoken to her for a little while. So it was really nice speaking to her. And then just suddenly I got cut off. So, yeah, who knows what that was about. But I then couldn't reconnect, you know. So, yeah. But it was really nice to just catch up with her. And, you know, she doesn't live close to me. She's kind of about a couple of hours drive away. Her and her husband and their children. So we were saying, you know, oh, it'd be so nice to get together like after the lockdown, because I actually can't remember the last time that we did see them. Yeah, I really don't know when it would have been, but obviously I don't think we would have seen them at all last year. I actually can't remember, but yeah, I don't think we must have seen them at all, because unless we saw them before the first lockdown, but I don't recall seeing them before the first lockdown. So, I mean, didn't see them, you know, possibly for the whole of last year. So, yeah, it'd be so nice to get together. And, yeah, it was just really nice kind of speaking to her and catching up and, you know, hearing what they've been up to and all the rest of it. And, yeah. And actually, she had messaged me and I said, oh, you know, shall I FaceTime you? And, I mean, you know, very easygoing, and said, oh, yeah, you know, so I FaceTimed her, and she was actually just in the process of debating making a journal for her daughter. So it was, she's got twins, and actually it's their birthday today. So yeah, she was actually literally, as I phoned, she was there debating making a journal for her daughter. And yeah, so that's quite cool. I mean, this is my friend who actually got me into crafting in the first place. So it's all her fault. And she has made journals in the past, but she's kind of moved on a little bit from paper crafting, and she does more knitting and crochet and things like that now, which, I mean, she has actually tried to teach me a few times. Yeah, a few times. There's no way. I just cannot get to grips with crochet or knitting or any of that stuff. Because I'm quite a, you know, clumsy type person, and I'm not very delicate, I just don't seem to be able to get that consistency of, what's the word? You know, like pulling the yarn. So my knitting, you know, if I knit a scarf, it will look like this, you know, because I've sometimes pulled tight on the yarn, sometimes loose, you know, it's all over the place. And the crochet, wow, well, the crochet is an even bigger hurdle for me, because that's just so super fiddly. I mean, well, there is the, you know, the consistency of the pulling the thread again. So that also is an issue again. But yeah, aside from that, it's just too fiddly for me, which is such a shame, because yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to crochet, but it's just not my thing. I mean, I love all like the crocheted flowers and all that kind of stuff, you know, would love to be able to make them, but just sometimes I think, you know, you've got to accept where your limits are. And yeah, sadly, crochet and knitting, they are just not for me at all. Strangely enough, my older sister, she does a lot of knitting, and she doesn't do crochet particularly, although I think she has tried it more recently. But yeah, she does knitting anyway. I mean, she, funnily enough, when I met up with her for a walk a few weeks ago, she had a lovely jumper on, which she'd knitted herself. So yeah, she's, you know, she's really good with knitting. But again, you know, she doesn't do paper crafting. I don't think it sort of would interest her, or, you know, yeah, she's not interested in paper crafting. But yeah, so I mean, she obviously does the knitting, and, you know, she'll sit kind of watching TV doing knitting and things like that. And she's always knitted, even as children, you know, she would sit and knit. I mean, I did try and knit one scarf, which really took me my entire childhood, strangely enough. It was, you know, like if ever I thought, oh, I'm going to do a bit of knitting, that same old scarf would come back out. And it was a kind of, well, like a multicoloured one, obviously, because I just was using kind of odds and ends of kind of her old wool, really. So it was all multicoloured, and I mean, it was, you know, I mean, I was a child, so it was probably like that thick, really. But obviously it varied, so sometimes like that thick, sometimes that thick, and yeah, I mean, obviously just absolutely awful. But despite the fact it took me my entire childhood, it never got finished. I mean, I don't know whether I've still got it somewhere or whether I've actually parted with it. I don't know. I mean, me being the hoarder I am, I suspect it might even be, you know, in my loft somewhere or something. I've probably bought it with me when I moved out from my mum and dad's house, but yeah, I don't know whether I did. I can't remember. I mean, hopefully I wasn't that much of a hoarder, and hopefully I did actually throw it away, but it just, I can still picture it now with the bright colours. It had like this bright sort of like an emerald green, it had some white, it had red, it had like a baby blue, all different, you know, all different colours. Yeah, but that was literally my entire childhood was knitting that. I don't mean consistently, but, you know, I mean, I kind of would do a bit of knitting for maybe, you know, a few days, and then it would just go kind of by the wayside for 6 months. Then I'd re-pick up that scarf and try and knit it again, fall by the wayside, you know, pick it up again. So yeah, although I say it took me my entire childhood, I don't mean I was trying to knit for that whole time. I just mean I would kind of just sporadically, you know, just pick it back up and think, oh, I'm going to pick up this scarf again and knit it. And yeah, never got finished. And to be honest, you know, just as well, because it wouldn't have been anything, because it wasn't big enough for a human being, you know. It was just so tiny. It might have been okay for maybe like a teddy bear or something. Okay, so here I've got some 12 by 12 papers, so some scrapbook papers. Oh, sorry, this paper here was from an English country garden. That's what these papers are. So this one here, I'm just going to, again, cut it down. You know, want it narrowish. I mean, this sort of, you know, these are quite good widths, aren't they? So again, I'm not kind of, you know, going to get too hung up. I'm just going to snip in. Oh, that's really wide. I'm just going to snip that down. And this is double-sided scrapbook paper. So again, it's, you know, it's not going to be stark white on the back, which, you know, I quite like for things like this. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Like that. I've done this one way too wide, so, and obviously way too crooked. So I'm just going to trim that down in there. Okay, and then I'll just take the paper again. Now, do I want to be bold enough to go with the actual, you know, the blue again, like on the outside? Not sure. Right, well, let's just, yeah, I need to stop mucking about and thinking how to fold this and actually just get folding it, don't I? But oops, don't know why this is proving to be so difficult for me today, but yep, just sometimes the brain's not really quite functioning. Oh dear, I'm really tired, super tired. I had a late night on Saturday, and then I didn't really sleep all that brilliantly, so I'm still lagging behind, you know, and lacking brain power, I think, from that. So I still feel very tired now. Okay, right, so I'm just going to glue that on and then you know, trim it around. Again, I'm still debating, do I want it blue or do I want it flowery? Oh, I'm going to do it in the contrast, I think. I do really like having the contrast. Do I? Yeah, let's just go for that before I can change my mind again. So again, I'm just going to foam folder that down again. Okay. So yeah, TV wise, still not really been watching anything, you know, of note. We've been dipping in and out of Modern Family, which I think I mentioned last time and said that we've been watching a bit of that. It's okay. Well, I mean, it's, you know, it's perfectly watchable. It's a nice show. It's quite fun. And there's loads of seasons. I think there's like 8 seasons or something, which amazing, you know. Love nothing better than something with plenty of episodes. So we've been watching that quite a bit in the evenings, and you know, it's again kind of that good, clean, fun, you know, type of show. I mean, it's not gripping. You aren't kind of like finishing it and thinking, oh my goodness, I can't wait for the next episode. I mean, it's nothing like that, but it's okay. But that's all that we've been watching, because I don't know, but I feel like we've not really kind of had that much time for necessarily getting into another series yet. But yeah, so that's what we've been watching this week on the TV, and that's on Netflix, I think. Yeah, Netflix. Oh, there's something called Your Honor. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. It looks really good and I really want to watch it. It's on Sky, I think, and Sky and Now TV, I think it is. And obviously I don't have Sky. We did used to have Now TV, but in the end, yeah, I cancelled it because I just thought, oh, we can't have all of these different subscriptions, you know. And actually it got to the point where we weren't really watching Now TV very much. But that looks really good. It's got Bryan Cranston, I think his name is, you know, the guy from Breaking Bad. It's got him in it. Oh, it just looks really good. So I'm hoping that eventually that will go on to some other, you know, some other service. Maybe it would go on to Amazon. I'm not sure. I'm going to do this one the floral way around, I think. Yeah, okay. Oops, actually I want this one opening this way, so it's like the reverse. Yeah, so that's kind of that. Oh, what else has been going on and that's exciting and worth talking about? Probably nothing really. I thought it was actually the clocks going back this weekend. Forward, sorry, they spring forward, don't they? This weekend, because obviously it was the summer solstice on, you know, at the weekend. But yeah, weirdly, it wasn't. They go back next weekend, so I must try and remember that. Oh, and I just want to say a massive thank you to Michelle, who I mentioned last week has been, she's been working wonders on our Facebook group. So I know that she's working really hard and she's done loads of things already. I can't thank you enough, Michelle, if you watch this video. You're doing an amazing job, and thank you so much, because A, I'm nowhere near that organised. B, I just didn't really have the time to be kind of setting things up. And, you know, obviously it's not through lack of interest. I just didn't really have time. I mean, she's put together a spreadsheet and things like that for random acts of kindness, you know, for people to do kind of swaps and things. I just didn't really kind of have the time to, you know, to be organised doing things like that. So yeah, I'm really grateful, Michelle, and yeah, thank you so much. You're doing an absolutely awesome job, so thank you. And yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, it's working really well for all of you guys as well, because of course you can all now be doing all these things that I was just so rubbish about organising. So that's really awesome. So let me just see what time we're up to. Oh gosh, can't see. 36 minutes. So I think we've got time for one more with the scrapbook paper. So I'm going to bring this one in. And yeah, this again is kind of double-sided with a sort of very neutrally background. So I'll just cut this one down. Yeah, so that's really great, Michelle. Thank you so much. There we go. Oh, and I want to say thank you so much to Heather as well for my new ring. So thank you so much, Heather. If you watch this video, yep, she sent me some lovely bits and pieces, and she has actually just opened a shop. Now, I have to confess, I have not had time to go over and look at it yet. So I do apologise, Heather. At this point, I haven't had time. But Heather is the lady, and I brought this along to be able to mention, she is the lady who made this awesome, you know, mini book of books for my daughter, which I showed a couple of weeks ago. So she's opened an Etsy shop. Now, I will try and remember, and again, I'm just honestly the world's most rubbish person at remembering anything, quite frankly. But I will try and remember to link her shop below. Like I say, I've not actually been over and checked it out or anything. So, you know, I will try and remember to put links and things below. I couldn't even tell you the name of it at the moment, I'm afraid, because, you know, I literally haven't had time to look at it at all. But yeah, I will definitely try and remember. If I do not link the shop below, please again nudge me, because, you know, it's so not intentional. And, you know, yeah, I just apologise. It's just so not intentional. I just honestly, I'm just absolutely rubbish at, well, at remembering things, to be honest. Because what happens is, you know, and I know I've said this tons of times as well, so it's probably really boring listening, but I film until, you know, kind of either my battery runs out or I'm doing something else. So, you know, I kind of film and then I'm instantly going doing something else. And then obviously it kind of falls by the wayside. I then, you know, my phone's on charge. I then, you know, edit the videos, pop them to upload, which sometimes, you know, is like half an hour. Sometimes it's overnight, literally, you know, depending on the kind of service I seem to be getting that day on my broadband. And yeah, then obviously, oh, look, lucky I had it that way up, wasn't it? I forgot that I'd needed to trim these down. Yeah, so then what happens is, of course, by the time that the video has uploaded, I mean, especially if it's overnight or anything like that, you know, I just really would not be likely to remember to put any links. I mean, I then can't remember what I've even been talking about, to be honest. You know, sometimes can't even remember what I was filming. So, yeah, I do really apologise, but just nudge me and I will include a link because, you know, Heather has sent some beautiful gifts for both me and my daughter. And so I'm pretty sure that her shop is going to be filled with the most brilliant and gorgeous things. So, you know, yeah, it would be fantastic if you could hop over and maybe have a look at her shop. So, and well done, Heather. Like, you know, good for you to have opened your shop, because, you know, it's kind of a big thing, isn't it, when you open your shop and, you know, take the plunge, as it were. So, yeah, good for you. That's fantastic. I'm really, really pleased for you. And I just wish you every success with your shop. So I hope it all goes really, really well. So I don't know whether she's got, or whether she plans on having a YouTube channel or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, certainly she didn't have, you know, previously. But whether or not that's kind of now going to be on her radar to do. Sorry, I've just noticed actually this is really horribly not straight. So I'm just going to trim that down. Yeah. Okay, right. Again, just pop that on. So I'll just trim that down now. And on Friday, funnily enough, we went for a walk, like after school and after, you know, after work. And it was me and the children. And yeah, we went to walk at the marina, which is kind of local to us. And it's really funny. We bumped into then my son's girlfriend and her mum, which was really nice to see them down there. So they kind of joined us for our walk. I mean, you know, I know there was kind of two of them, but I mean, we were sort of distanced anyway, because my son and his girlfriend obviously walked, you know, technically they walked on their own. So it was like we were walking just one person at a time, really. But yeah, that was really, really nice to see them. I've only met his mum, her mum once before, and that was quite recently. But yeah, it was just really nice to, again, kind of, you know, have some interaction and, you know, sort of see people. So, right, okay, the time is now coming up for 45 minutes, sorry. So let's see how many we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? So I'm just going to kind of just decorate one up now to demonstrate. And I just happen to have these printables here, which just, they're like floating at the side of my desk from something I was doing at the weekend. And I thought, oh, I think they're going to look really good, actually. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think they look pretty nice on any of these papers, actually. But let's just bring those in. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's still at the moment the you know, the hope is that shops and what have you are going to be able to open on April the 12th. So I mean, just really fingers crossed that that's going to stay the situation, and you know that they are. I mean, oh, I think people really can't wait this time round, and you know, definitely it's felt so much harder this time round with the lockdown. So you know, I mean, like I say, I mean, I generally I'm just in anyway, you know, this is my life, is kind of just working inside, you know, but it's the things like, you know, not being able to pop round and see like my mum and dad, or, you know, things like that. And, you know, the children, I think, literally have, yeah, really, really struggled this time round, to be honest. You know, it's, yeah, taken its toll, kind of been, yeah, it's been hard, really hard, I think, for, you know, for everyone really. But yeah, I think particularly the children, you know, because I mean, thank goodness that they've got their phones and all of that stuff. It's not like when we were young where, you know, if we were in lockdown, I mean, you just would not have seen your friends at all. I mean, they're obviously, they can FaceTime and all of that stuff. So, you know, it's not quite the same. but you know, I mean, it doesn't really kind of compare to actually being able to just freely go out with your friends and all of that stuff. And I mean, of course, things like, you know, my son, my eldest son, you know, he obviously turned 18 and, you know, of course, I mean, he's not been able to go into a pub. I mean, you know, not that that sounds like the most fun, but you know, I mean, obviously when you're 18, that is a big deal to be able to go into a pub and, you know, buy a beer or, you know, a drink or something. I mean, personally, I don't drink, but you know, obviously I did when I was younger. And yeah, so, you know, it's things like that they're kind of just missing out on, really. So I know that he's very, you know, very excited to be able to do those things that so far as an 18-year-old he's not really experienced. You know, his girlfriend also, funnily enough, I mean, she also was 18, you know, turned 18 during this lockdown just a couple of weeks after him. So, you know, she too, I'm sure, is feeling, you know, can't wait to be able to do all those things that, you know, as an 18-year-old you're wanting to do. So, yeah. It's felt like a, I don't know, just, it's felt hard, I think, this time round. You know, I think because it's been winter as well. Of course, that's not really helped, you know. I mean, obviously last year there was the novelty factor. You know, we'd never had a lockdown before. So it was like, oh, you know, we're in a lockdown. How exciting. And whereas second time round, it's like, oh, we've been here before. You know, we know what's coming. You know, plus the weather was very nice. I mean, really, pretty much straight away, the weather was lovely, like right from the get-go. And, you know, that just makes such a difference. Where this time around, obviously, you know, we've had lots of days with rain and, you know, we've not really even been able to go out for a walk. And, you know, we've been very lucky this winter. It's not been a terrible, harsh winter or anything like that. But, you know, of course, it's been, you know, like last year we could spend time even in the garden, doing things in the garden. And, you know, this year, of course, you know, that's not even really been a sort of proposition either. I mean, I have been out in the garden once or twice picking up leaves and things like that. You know, on some of those colder but crisp days. But yeah, so it's, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good when everything is, you know, fingers crossed, just back to normal. I think we really will, you know, just not know ourselves and be, yeah, so pleased. And to be honest, you know, I think as well, everyone's really struggled this time around with, you know, the lack of activity, to be honest, you know, kind of aches and pains and things like that. I mean, you know, I have continued to do my kind of workout every morning and things like that, but, you know, and obviously I have been out for lots of walks and stuff, but, yeah, you just feel very sluggish and, you know, everything kind of feels hard work now. And it's like, oh gosh, you know, that walk was hard work, or, you know, oh, my legs are aching now after that walk, where normally, you know, you might not have felt that way. So I think it's, you know, it's definitely taken its toll physically as well as mentally, to be honest, this time around. So it will be a really good thing, you know, once things do get back to normal. I mean, oh, can't wait for things to get back to normal and it be summer, you know, and just be able to go down the beach and things. I mean, we go to the beach a lot anyway, you know, I'm always obviously saying that we've been to the beach, but, you know, obviously going to the beach in the winter is a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? So we just go there with our flask and our, you know, have a walk. So to actually be able to go to the beach and actually just, you know, play and hang out on the beach. I mean, not that I play, obviously, but for me, take my Kindle, for my daughter, obviously running about maybe with her cousin or something, you know, that would just be, oh, it would just seem like heaven, to be honest. Yeah, can't wait. Literally can't wait. Right, just deciding how to have my bling, because, you know, of course I do want to have some bling somewhere. And I'm just wondering whether I might want a second bit of lace, because, wow, there's just nothing like more lace, you know. Whoops. Oh my goodness, look at what I've done to this. Destroyed it completely. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah. I thought that would be a bit much, but actually I do really like it. And I might have the bling up there actually instead. So let's just pop that down. Okay. Come on. Oh, goodness. Can't really see whether that was coming out or not. Hopefully it's come out enough. Yeah, I can feel glue there, even though I couldn't see it coming out. Right, do I want bling there or do I want it down there? I think I quite like it at the top. Okay. Oh my goodness, now I can't pick it up. Okay, so how super cute does that look? And then, I mean, I've still got my pocket inside, which I haven't, you know, added anything to. So should we put something on that as well? Just see what I've got, if I've got anything just laying around. I've got another clock. Oh, I don't know. Well, I guess I could have that clock there. Oh, perhaps that's a bit weird. I quite like it, weirdly enough, just off to the side actually. Yeah, that looks quite fun. So I'll just put that down there. Okay, and then just trim that down. Okay. Right, let's, oops, put this down here. Okay. Oh, I love how that looks. Yeah, I don't think I've ever cut a clock in this this kind of way before. But how cute does that look? That's just so gorgeous, isn't it? Now I'm just going to see if I want a little bit of lace on the inside. I probably don't, but, well, famous last words, to be honest. Once I've tried it on there, I'll probably find I do end up wanting it, but just get rid of all this fluff now from where I've torn that down. Okay. Just wondered whether, do I want it hanging out underneath? Or shall I have it? Oh, that's then going to be on the same side. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't probably really need any lace at all, but, oh, let's just put it down. I've torn it now and I might as well, you know, might as well put it on there now. Okay. Oops. Need to unclog my Fabri-Tac. It doesn't very often get clogged up in these bottles, but just every now and then, if I haven't used it for a few days, it just needs a, you know, pin kind of sticking in. There we go. Super, super, super cute. Yep. Okay. So love how those look. Let me just pull in, you know, something to act like a journal page. Well, I'm going to just bring in this journal that I've bought in every week for ages now, and I still haven't done anything with it. It's literally just a kind of, you know, waiting to go journal, but I just haven't got around to actually decorating it or anything. So this is how that would look, and like I say, I mean, I would probably glue it on 3 sides, so then you'd have a pocket in here, you know, where it's glued on. You would have obviously a flip out here with a pocket, then you would flip it up. You've got then journaling space obviously there and there, and then you've also got this flip out here, more journaling space and another pocket in there. So I mean, it's really giving you a lot of options, isn't it? And you know, for holding it closed, completely up to you obviously how you do it. You could use just, oops, oh my goodness, oh well, if you can use the paper clip, you know, if you're not like me. You could use a paper clip to hold that closed. Or, you know, you could tie some string around this or something. That would also be super cute. Or like I say, you could have one of those little doobry things, you know, with a little brad. So lots and lots of different options. But I mean, the paper clip works perfectly well. And that's just held them all kind of closed. And, it, you know, just glue it down on the 3 sides. And that would just kind of stick down like that with the paper clip holding it closed. So, yeah, I hope that you like them. I mean, they're just super cute, aren't they? And I mean, to be honest, you know, if you've got pretty papers on them, you could even just hook them over a page and not even have them glued in at all. But instead, just literally, you know, clip them onto the page like that. And then they could just be literally a pull-out piece instead. You know, that also is super gorgeous, isn't it? So, you know, they'd just unhook and you'd have your pockets and your flaps and all the rest of it there. So really, really, really versatile. And yeah, really, really like them. I can see that they would be pretty useful, to be honest, with lots of different things. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, if you weren't gluing it in and you were just having it, you know, hanging over the page, in fact, you wouldn't even need your flap that way. You could actually have it on this side. I mean, actually, that might even, yeah, I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but, you know, you could just glue it onto the back instead, so you had your pockets like an identical type thing to the front on the back. And then your open inside would just be completely plain with no pockets. Yeah. So, I mean, super versatile, lots and lots of different kind of styles, I think, and, you know, ways that you could use them. So, yeah, I hope that you like them, and I hope you have fun if you decide to make some. And thank you so much for watching. And obviously my beginner's journal series will be continuing tomorrow. So thank you so much then, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.